A Texas bill introduced last month would require anyone looking to buy a sex toy to present identification. Hey, if you want to buy this thing, you need to show me some ID. As if, you know, they're buying something dangerous. Well, I guess when it comes to Republicans, they would consider a sex toy to be dangerous.
Sexual anarchy.
Now, the bill filed last month by North Texas Senator Angela Paxton, yes, that is the wife of the Attorney General, Ken Paxton, would require online shoppers to submit photo ID before daring to purchase a sex toy. Now, Senate Bill 3003 claims to protect minors by regulating the online sale of so-called obscene devices to those under 18. According to Texas Penal Code, an obscene device is qualified as a device including a dildo or artificial vagina. Yeah, I know. I'm not going to do it though. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to play those. The sound clips, okay? But okay. Anything that is designed or marketed as a useful primary or as useful primarily for the stimulation of human genital organs. Okay. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's too much.
Sexual anarchy.
Too much of it. Too much.
This election is about the people.
No, but it's not. No. Now, the bill would make selling and distributing sex toys to a minor or failing to implement age verification process at the point of sale a Class A misdemeanor. Punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of $4,000, and also imposes a $5,000 civil penalty per offense. Okay. Now, they have some in the bill. They lay out some, a bit different processes that you can prove your age, including submitting a government issued ID or utilizing third-party verification services. Oh, that's great. Yeah, let's get a third party involved here. Having a threesome that accesses public records to verify age and limiting sales to payment methods only available to those 18 and up. What kids are sitting there using and having these payment methods where they could buy sex toys online? I have no idea. No idea at all. But basically, at the end of the day, the bill puts up a ton of barriers to individuals that are just wanting to have a little bit of fun with themselves. I mean, it's kind of bizarre to me how obsessed they are with NoFap, okay? But you know what? If they're doing that, they're having fun with themselves. That means they're not having sex, right? Oh, see, here's the thing. This is the real reason, what I think anyway. Obviously, this bill is not to protect minors, right? But it actually is there to encourage couples to have more sex. Obviously, married couples. Because if you combine this with all the anti-abortion bills the state has already passed, what you're looking at is more sex, more babies. That's it. More babies means more cheap workers. Oh, look at that. So, and it makes sense because we're basically living under an authoritarian regime right now, and that has embraced natalism. I mean, look at the Trump administration, or look at Elon Musk, for example, with his own little personal harem, talking about how, we need to have more babies. Our population is not growing enough to replace it, so we got to have more babies, right? And then you got Trump, rolling out tax breaks or incentives, the child tax credit from $2,000 to $5,000, and then wanting to give people women medals. You go back and you look at authoritarian regimes. That's exactly what they did. They embraced natalism. Okay. And of course, you got RFK and his weird eugenics that are going on at HHS. All this stuff makes sense when you look at it through the lens of, this is what Nazi regimes do. Oh, so there you go. there you go. So, yes. And by the way, the purpose of their natalism is to have more white babies. All right. More white babies specifically. So, hey, look, if you're horny and you can't look at porn or you can't use the toys, well, there is obviously there's sex, right? But be warned that sex is only for reproduction. So the only options there are to either go without or you start pumping out them babies. And I think that's the real end goal of all of these bills. Okay. Now, Dr. Shamira Howard, a licensed clinical social worker and sex educator for WeVibe, which is a couple's sexual wellness brand, said this, quote, requiring ID to purchase sex toys sends a message that pleasure is something to be policed and surveilled. Yeah, pretty much. That's what Republicans want to do. They want to get into your bedroom and police you on the type of sex that you have. That's it. Or what toys you want to play with or whatever. Okay. And people like Angela Paxton, they're the ones that are trying to push this as well. Okay. They're all doing this. Now, Howard continues by saying that this pathologizes something that is completely normal and turns a private, healthy act into something shameful. This kind of legislation doesn't protect people. It embarrasses them. It creates unnecessary barriers and reinforces harmful stigmas that many of us have spent years trying to dismantle. Yep. And look, shame is one of the biggest weapons the right wing has against women. Okay, that's it. And Texas, despite allegedly being the freedom state, they have been policing sex devices for decades. Remember, back in 1973, they passed an obscenity statute. Now, originally, the law banned sex toys, but was amended back in 2003 to allow the sale of those toys. But still, you can only have 6 of them. If you got 7, you're going to get in trouble. And that's exactly what happened. Joanne Webb was arrested in 2004 for having more than one device on her. Okay. Now she was hosting some multi-level marketing sales parties. Okay. So, I mean, it's one of those, I've got sex toys. I'm going to sell them. Right. Well, she obviously, in order to host those parties, had more than 6 toys on her at once. Oh no, she was arrested for that. Now, of course, thankfully, a district judge ruled that law unconstitutional and unenforceable. But of course, in Texas, they don't really care. So it remains within the Texas Penal Code. So there you go. Now, Howard added, these restrictions absolutely function as a proxy attack on women's sexual autonomy. Sex toys are tools of empowerment. She said tool. They allow people, especially women, to explore their pleasure, address sexual concerns, and experience intimacy on their own terms. That challenges traditional gender roles that often expect women to be passive participants in their own pleasure. So there you go. She's not wrong. Okay. Now, that said, look, obviously, you don't want kids buying this stuff. I don't. Or looking at pornography. Yeah, of course. I mean, that said, I did when I was a teen. I didn't get ruined for my entire life. And obviously, yes, young adults are going to get curious, right? And all that stuff. But no, looking at that stuff when I was a teenager did not destroy me. But that doesn't mean that I want children to have easy access to it. I don't. So now that leads me to the question of age verification, right? Now, does that actually work? The answer to that is no. Age verification does not work to stop teens from accessing that material. In fact, researchers led by David Lang with Stanford University's Polarization and Social Change Lab found that age verification laws were linked to an increase in searches for virtual private network services, VPNs, which can mask a user's location, thereby allowing people in states where you have age verification laws to appear as if they're visiting websites from within a state where no such laws exist. Our findings, according to the paper, highlight that while these regulation efforts do reduce traffic to compliant firms, and likely a net reduction overall to this type of content, individuals adapt primarily by moving to content providers that do not require age verification. Yes, of course. That makes sense. This is basically the same reaction people had to prohibition. No, alcohol didn't go away. It just went underground. Same thing. You try to ban porn, it's going to go underground. And people are still going to look at it. Okay? So in addition to these laws not working as intended, obviously there's the issue of privacy. Privacy for adult individuals. According to staff attorney Lisa Femia of the Electronic Frontier Foundation, who's been fighting against these kinds of laws, she said that Texas age verification law robs internet users of anonymity, exposes them to privacy and security risks, and blocks some adults entirely from accessing sexual content that's protected under the First Amendment. Yes, that's it. But here's the thing. Republicans in these states do not actually care about freedom. They don't want to protect freedom, and they really actually don't care about children. Okay? In fact, Howard said that in Texas, we're seeing a pattern of proposed legislation that reflects a discomfort with pleasure, intimacy, and personal agency, especially when it comes to women and marginalized communities. These attacks aren't about protection. They're about control. Because of course they are. They always have been. That's the whole point, to control women. People who want to control others always end up using the shield, the excuse of, what about the children? We got to protect the children. When in reality, you have so many other things, real things, including Republican politicians, that are harming children every single day. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.